everyone. NFT.NYC. I am here with David Pakman. You kicked us off with an amazing speech on the state of NFTs. Thank you for that, by the way.
Pleasure.
That's why people need to be here to hear the state of NFTs. We had amazing speakers on stage talking about gaming, Metaverse, media, entertainment, even AI. We talked a lot about AI today. What was the takeaway for you from today's panelists on the main stage?
I would say first, thematically, this is incredible energy, a lot of optimism. They are sort of unfazed by the perturbations of the market. So, a lot of optimism. People who just continue to work unfazed by like what's the price of NFTs or the price of Ethereum or something like that. Right. I would say more broad use cases than just NFT infrastructure or just profile pictures. As you mentioned, how does AI intersect with creation? What type of digital tools will incorporate NFTs? Gaming. One of the most exciting presentations I heard was about the use of NFTs to create a sort of canonical representation of creatures or species in the metaverse. Fantastic use of blockchain. So I would just say like diverse, optimistic workers.
Absolutely. David, I want to ask you, crypto people tend to talk to crypto people in crypto language. If we want to educate the masses by telling them to pay attention, based on what you heard on stage today, what are some of the topics that you feel the masses need to pay attention to and start thinking about in this next iteration of the internet?
I think that most of what's trying to be built around Web3 and NFTs is a new way for consumers to participate in the ownership of ideas, of intellectual property, of digital creation. And it's kind of on us to communicate that in a way that doesn't require the mainstream normal consumers to learn about a whole bunch of new stuff. I'm seeing the technology being built to transform crypto into more of a mainstream set of concepts so that it's not like the consumers have to learn a bunch of new stuff, but it just looks like more great experiences to participate in.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, people don't care to know what goes on in the background. They just want to purchase their NFT and their membership, right? Last question for you. What are you excited about? What are you looking forward to in this coming year, coming out of such a rough year? What are you looking forward to?
One, maybe people stopping asking what's it like to be in a market that's down, right? That's not very fun. But I think it's sort of hard not to be excited about NFTs as a specific use case for crypto. I'm a media person. I love music. I love art. I love visual creation. And most creators have had a rough time selling their works in the Web 2 era. You heard for years about how upset musical artists are about the sort of pittance of pennies they get every time we listen to their streams. And so I think that this can change in a Web 3 paradigm where consumers can buy works, musical, visual, any other digital creativity from artists at much higher prices, and the artists participate in the first sale and then all the subsequent sales. So that's just too big an interesting idea for it to stay small, and so I think I'm just excited about the unlock that will bring.
It's quite exciting. We're still early. There's still a lot of work to be done, especially now we're introducing AI to all of this. So there is a lot that we still need to work on, but so exciting to be a part of this journey and being an early adopter, right?
Yes, and an early builder. Like it's something exciting about maybe building the next wave of the internet, and I think that's what the energy here is all about.
Well, thank you so much for your incredible work today as an MC. You kept us organized on time, and we just loved having you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me here. It was great.
Of course. I am so glad that you're here representing this intersection of Web 2 entertainment and Web 3. What a journey for you, but how exciting too. Can you kind of talk, well, first of all, I want to find out, it's day one. Are you excited? What's exciting you today?
I am. I mean, you can actually feel the energy when you walk in the building. There's a lot of different people around a lot of different places inside of the industry. And so it's great to see kind of that convergence of community. And that's a lot of actually what I've learned in just the early sessions of today, of really how we're building different communities that can really amplify the entire industry.
You said Sirius, Pandora. I want to ask you, What are these brands excited about when it comes to NFTs?
I think what's actually interesting is how we're talking about other brands and how they're showing up in the space, and really where we're marrying what they're doing with what we could potentially do together. And so I think a lot of the conversations that we're having right now, which are in early stages, are really around like, what is authentic to your brand? How can we help amplify what is authentic to your brand? And how are we building those, again, back to the communities together?
What's the easiest way? A lot of brands out there, they don't know where to start. They don't know, how do they get in? What's your word for them?
I mean, I think it really is understanding the community. If you are going to come into this space with some preconceived notions of either who you think the community is, what you think the community wants, or what your brand needs to do for them, you're never going to win. It really is taking your time to listen and understand who the communities are, what they're here for, and how you can be additive to the experience.
Now let's talk to the fans. Let's talk to artists. Why should they be excited?
I mean, I think across not just our industry in music, but I think in all creator communities, it really is this democratization that we've been talking about of a space in which you can really start to build and make and create new and unique ways for you to connect with your fans. And so I think we're going to start to see that develop over time, but it's even just the early stages. It's really exciting to see it come to life.
What are you looking forward to learn in the next couple of days here?
Oh man, I am really just into listening and understanding. So I think I'm just going to absorb everything and see what I can take away back to our company.
Well, so glad to have you here with your insight and educating all of us. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
All right, Congressman, day one, you just got off the stage. Let me ask you, how was that and what are you excited about from day one?
Well, first, it was great. I think everybody just being in the room to listen. Sometimes regulatory talks are a little boring. We try to make it fun, but it was a really awesome day. Honestly, seeing the entire conference being unfolded on just day one, I'm excited, really for NFTs in general, for what you guys are doing here. The biggest thing is just a passion for what's possible in this space, in this industry, and I just want people to continue to create, be innovative, be thoughtful, be dynamic. I think it's going to be awesome for everybody.
You certainly woke up the room, and a lot of people had their eyes on you because they want to know what it is that you believe in. And what you believed in is blockchain technology. There's the opportunity for you, the opportunity is there. Can you talk to us about the specific job opportunities that you see come out of Web3 technologies like blockchain?
Oh, man. Partly, obviously, coding is a big one, and I know there's a big push throughout schools in America about coding and stuff like that. That's going to be big. Developers, people who can actually maintain and monitor the transaction flow. As transactions continue to rise and grow, you're going to have that going on. Even in every industry, in the medical industry, in the accounting industry, in the financial world. Like, everybody looks at it now from transactions and DeFi and all that stuff. But I think some of the new growth is definitely going to be in the medical field. Being able to move electronic records so people can get the care that they need. We have a much more dynamic payment system, so we're not just caught up in the dogma of previous payments. You're actually looking at what's happening right now at a moment's notice to help people in their healthcare going forward. I mean, the possibilities really are endless. It
really is. I mean, like you said, we have healthcare, real estate, education, but there's a huge friction, and that is to this transition of old school to new school. How do you see, what are some of the steps that we can take to mitigate the traditional model into adopting parts of this new iteration of how we do everything?
Well, that piece, I think, is you just keep working. You keep innovating. Funny thing happens in American business. When there's a new, better way to do something, people migrate over. Like I said in there, like it used to be you sent contracts through the United States Postal Service, and you had to wait 3-4 days to get them, and then you had to send them back for another 3-4 days, and that was the state of flow. Then we figured out fax machines. And at first it was like, what's this thing where the paper curls up at the end? What's that? Then it became the staple of American business. Now it's email. And then now you have companies like DocuSign. DocuSign was a company when it was created, everybody's like, I could sign it digitally? Like, what is this? Yeah. And then now it's a staple of how basically all documents are transacted. If you continue just innovating and providing that capability, people will come over.
people coming over, but cities need to come over too. Why should cities pay attention to the blockchain?
I think it will help them, actually simplify a lot of their operations, a lot of their back office stuff, records keeping, stuff like that. It'd make it far cheaper for them. It would cut down the level of costs needed associated with maintaining it all. And it actually will make it easier for their constituents, their citizens, to engage with their government. It really is the wave of the future, especially considering how much people really do now rely on technology for a part of their lives and what they do. It's the next step, and obviously city governments should get on board, and city governments, state governments as well. The federal government. Let me worry about that one. Let me see where we go.
Lastly, what are you excited about, and what are you going to fight for when it comes to this technology for the people?
What I'm fighting for is a self-regulating industry. That's the thing that excites me. That's the thing that I think I can provide most value. I think it's really about a lot of my colleagues are concerned what that looks like. And is it going to be effective? And are people going to be protected? And is the innovation going to occur? But at the end of the day, you don't want to stifle an industry like this. It's so new. It's really in its infancy. And if you give it the room to learn how to crawl, learn how to walk, learn how to run, it can do dramatic things for our country.
Well, thank you so much. It is our pleasure to have you fighting for this technology and for the people. And thank you so much for being here at NFT.NYC.
All right, thank you.
Of course. All right, well, I am here with the man of the hour. Robbie from Immutable is here. Robbie, you just got off the stage. How was it? What are you excited about? Day one, NFT.NYC.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, the thing I'm most excited about is as the market has shifted into a bear market, we see way more developers and builders and people who genuinely care about the space than a bunch of people in it for short-term money. So I greatly prefer conferences in bear markets, and I think the attendance has been fantastic, and more importantly, has been people you genuinely want to spend time with.
Yeah, Robbie, a lot of people are wanting to get into this space, and they're just a little intimidated. We're talking to gamers, we're talking to just mainstream who want to get in, they want to learn more. Mm-hmm. Where is that lower barrier to entry, and what should people be excited about?
Yeah, well, I think that's a low ball. I think it's immutable, right? We are trying to make it ridiculously easy for game developers to build. We agree it's hugely intimidating, from how do you design a sustainable economy that won't blow up, to how do you make sure the underlying scaling infrastructure won't lose your users the $4 billion in sidechain hacks that have happened over the last 3 years, to how do you make sure the user experience for your end players is a good one. And we try and package all of that into a one-stop shop to make it really, really simple. And the thing we're excited about is, the $5 billion just last year that was invested into gaming, the $15 billion in the last 3 years for Web3 alone. This is all going live. And over the next 2 years, we're going to see a huge inflection point for the industry as infrastructure gets good for mainstream customers, as game developers start to launch high quality games, and as we iterate economies to find the playbooks that actually work scalably and sustainably.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that great event, great turnout. We still have 2 more days to go.
Yes. Yeah.
And you have a big party tonight that we're all attending, and that's what you were missing at NFT.NYC Day 1.
Thank you.
Of course. OMG. I don't even think I need to do any kind of introduction here. I am with one of my favorite women in Web3, Metaverse. Bucks is here, everybody. And she just got off the stage. You just spoke on music. Gala is doing some amazing stuff. You guys are pushing music. You guys are pushing film. Of course, games. Don't even have to mention that. But tell me, first of all, how it went for you on the stage today.
It was good. It's always nice talking about stuff you believe in and sharing it, right? I think what I'm noticing, though, more and more about conferences is the level of knowledge is now increasing. So what's great about that is you can dive in to much more, I think, interesting topic areas and start disagreeing with each other, right? Because we all agree with the principle of what we're doing, but I think the way that people are doing it is going to now get increasingly interesting. And music's a great topic, right? Everyone loves music.
Of course, absolutely. Sarah, what are you guys, I mean, you have so much going on, but when you come here to NFT.NYC, what is your goal? What do you want people to know about Gala here at NFT.NYC?
That we're part of it. Yeah. That we're not competing with each other, not yet. Like, this is too early. So it's really to say that we'll show up because it's important to support each other and to support events like this. because we need these moments where we're together to re-energize and to learn and to share and to feel a bit of excitement, right? We're all in a bear market. We're all feeling probably a little bit more tired than we were a year or 2 or even 3 years ago. So I think it's that reinvigoration that I look for in these kind of events, and just to let people know that we're here. So many people don't know about Gala, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think just getting the message out there, and it's more for me, the message is more about the future of entertainment, gaming, film, music, than it is about maybe Gala even specifically.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, it's bear market, but for some reason, we're working even harder, right?
Bear equals build, right? And you've got to keep building. And what was so funny is we launched the music platform on March 28th. And everyone's like, oh, you're going to have a drink, you're going to celebrate. I mean, this thing, if you haven't seen it, it's killer. It's the most, I think, technologically advanced consumer product in Web3 by a million miles. 25,000 nodes, hosting content, decentralized.
Wow.
Artists coming on every day, drops selling out in less than a minute. It's insane what we're doing. And everyone's like, oh, you're going to celebrate? I was like, are you kidding? This is day one. We've just started. I'm trying to convince myself, you spend all this time building and you realize you're still only at the start of the race. You haven't even begun the warm-up lap yet. It's incredible.
But how exciting is that? Because we frankly do need the next iteration of music, and we need to make sure that the artists and fans are equally compensated for their effort, for their artistry, for their talent. And you guys are really making that happen. You're doing a lot of education. You guys are out there in the community educating. Why is it important for artists who are outside of this building, who don't know much about Web3 and NFTs, to pay attention to what's coming with music?
So there's a bit of a trick question in there, because if you're he's going to walk right across the shot.
All right.
There's a bit of a trick question in there, because if you're an established artist, you probably don't care quite so much, right? You've made it, you've broken through, and you're getting the benefit of the streams on, a digital streaming platform and all of that kind of stuff. You've got visibility. You still don't really have much control or ownership over your fan base, and you may or may not care about that, but that's a choice. I think if you're an emerging artist, it's so clear what we offer, because now you have a chance to, even if you have a small fan base, you can have a career. And I think that's what's really exciting. And the bigger artists, particularly the ones that have really made an impact in the music space and in the wider entertainment space, I think what inspires them, certainly from the ones I get to speak to, is that idea of legacy and about helping others get to where they are. So the idea that they can make more money on a platform that's decentralized, and they can see exactly where that money's going. They can talk to their fans directly without a third party sitting in the middle. But actually they can do more than that. They can help the music industry get out of the rut that it's in this micro content consumer, bite-sized model that kind of has just taken all of the magic, all of the value of what music really is, and just completely commoditized it. Yeah. And that's what we're kind of saying, enough. Fight against that. Music's worth more than that. Not just financially, but emotionally, right? It's an experience. And we need those kind of things.
Yeah, and we're so glad that you guys, Gala, is leading the path, leading the way toward that. Last question, what are you excited about, Sarah?
I'm excited about everything.
There's so much to be excited about.
So much to be, I'm just excited about what we can do with this technology, because I think we are, like I said a minute ago, we are just at the beginning. So working with such clever people across a whole range of different skill sets, whether they're marketeers, whether they're engineers, whether they're creatives themselves, what you can do when you bring those people together without all the corporate bullshit in the way, that is what I'm excited about. Bring it. Come on.
Of course. And there is nobody else but this woman right here that I know she's well capable of making that happen with all the energy that she has. Sarah, thank you so much.
Aw, thank you.
Always a pleasure to see you. Thank you so much for your time.
I'll see you soon.
Absolutely. All right, well, I do have the man of the hour here with me. Jodee Rich, the co-founder of NFT.NYC, is here with us. Last day, day 4 of the event. Wowzer. I have to hear your perspective. How did it go, Jodee?
Well, I just want to ask you, what was your favorite part?
Oh my gosh, there's so many favorite parts. Having the billboards in Times Square was just, for everyone, every speaker, every artist got to see their work and their face on the big billboards. That was a highlight.
That was huge. In fact, we'll have to put you on next year.
I was on there, Jodee.
No way! I didn't see you.
I was a little tiny head up there.
Okay. I should look more carefully, right?
Oh, but that was a treat. Thank you so much for that. How did it go for you?
I loved it that we were all under the one roof.
Yeah.
You know, the event has really mushroomed over the years. I think I mentioned to you earlier that last year I was literally running around Times Square 3 weeks before finding more stages. You know, look at all these people we have. We need more stages. And now it's all under the one roof. And for the first time next year, we'll be working with caterers and venue providers that we've worked with before. Because every year we've had to make a new relationship.
Of course.
The other thing that I've loved about this year is we've finally been able to work through our fourth value. You know our three values. We bring people together, we put passionate people on stage, and then we proselytize to the broader community. That's our mission here. And our fourth value is let's use NFTs to create engagement. And so this year we've had NFT digital twin tickets. We've allowed people to find other attendees by reference to the NFTs that they've owned. We've had NFT swag again. And it's been really fun. And watching people engage with NFTs is really what it's all about for me. That's why I'm here. I mean, we are tech people. We're not event people. We do this because we are deeply passionate and we love the technology.
Absolutely. And the technology, the venue, the people, everything has evolved in the last 6 years, right? This is the 6th event, I think.
We registered the domain name NFT.NYC in August 2018.
Yeah. So, I mean, I have experienced the last 3 and I see how it's evolving, but I want to hear it from you. How has it evolved, this event, from, say, the last 2 events?
Well, we said 2 years ago that the world has discovered NFTs, which was wonderful. And then at the last event, a lot of it was about speculative NFTs. People put stickers everywhere, people were talking about their drops. And now it's really settled down to the utility. And we're seeing many brands with real world use cases commercializing NFTs. And that's where we want to see it going.
Well, you're certainly on the right track. Last question. Where are we going? What should people be expecting from NFT.NYC in the upcoming years?
Well, more brands engaging. There's some great work being done in ticketing. You've seen what Starbucks are doing, what Nike is doing. I think you mentioned earlier the fashion. Was it fashion that you mentioned to me? Yes,
we're going to have a digital runway coming up. I'm just kidding, but I'm hoping.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Yeah. And then later on today, I'm doing a fireside chat with my friend Alex Atala, who is the co-founder of OpenSea. Yep. And I said to Alex, what do you want to talk about? He wants to talk about AI and NFTs. So that'll be really interesting. So this time next year, there'll be more brands, AI, more dynamic NFTs, more generative NFTs.
And that is exactly why, my friends, you have to come to NFT.NYC. I mean, from the speakers to the topics, it is all right here, so you can't miss it. Be sure to be here next year, and hopefully in the same beautiful, beautiful building. Jodee, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's wonderful to have you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.